Hello there, Ddraig back, and this time we're obviously going to look at the campaign itself. So here we are on the faction selection screen, and just a quick reminder, you need the Mixu Unlocker mod and the Mixu Unlocked mod, which is the much like Quintus' faction unlocker, which unlocks a yacht. You need that one to play this one, so you need both of them, and of course the Strigoi mod itself. So if you scroll through all these, I might do a video on this one as well, but it is pretty much Quintus' faction unlocker. Somewhere back here, the undead, here they are, and I'm not sure why it says Caden. This isn't Caden. Anyway, so Originz. So, and they don't start there either. So, small bits of bobs here, but never mind. So, bit of faction effects there. Diplomatic relations, -10 with vampire counts. The Strigoi don't get on that well with the other vampire counts. They're considered a bit yeser because of their beastly type of nature. So, we've got 10% plus 10 attack ambushes because they are quite good at ambushing, being beasts, obviously. And -25 upkeep for Strigani and Strigoi units. So they're the basic stats, and there's only one choice. And I'll show you the other factions in a minute. Not the other factions. The other edge of the Ords is skill tree. So let's get into it. So a quick update on my previous video. I think, if memory serves, I mentioned that there are certain units in the vampire roster you can't recruit, which is correct. You can't recruit, say for example, Graveguard, but you can, with the raised data mechanic, recruit them that way. So I'm not sure what I said in the first video. I could go and look, but I've got a feeling I did say that you can't get those units at all where you can. Raised dead mechanic works that in the exact same way as it does for the vampire counts, and that means you can also get the mortis engine, say. So this is going to be broken down into my usual section. So coming up now will be my look at the actual campaign. Then I'll go through the edge of the Ords. There's 4 of them this time, so I'm going to do a quick breakdown of each skill tree because I always find that quite useful and they're quite interesting. And then I have got a campaign ongoing, so I'll show you that as well. And when this loads in, which is any second, you soon see we start in an interesting location. Which is roughly in the centre of the greenskins. Here we go. Now I think that's because that's the mechanic to get rid of the order that they come with. So here we are, there's the main screen. And here's Originz. I'll go back to him in a bit. So this is the starting location for Strigoi. Now this is their ancestral home, if memory serves, according to the lore. So I think that's pretty sure I'm right with that. Lore is not my strong point, I have to admit. So, start off here, and then you got to a region, Morkheim and Floating Village. Morkheim is their ancestral home. Not a bad starting location. Not a great starting location either, because as you saw at the start, it's considered very hard, and I don't think it's very hard personally. And I'll get back into that when I get into my own personal campaign. And I usually play on. I've decided to change it to play hard campaign and normal battle. And the reason I was doing that is because I was testing other mods, and that's their preferred way you should be playing it. So that's what we're doing that for. Anyway. So a quick look at how they recruit units. So if we go in here and we have a look at their skill tree. Skill tree? I always call it skill tree. Building tree. So here's the building tree for the Strigoi. Pretty much the same buildings as you would expect. But they split up how you recruit some various units. Now as I mentioned before, you can't recruit the Graveguard and things of that nature. So recruiting all the beastly ones are down this tree. So it's only a 3-tier tree. Bat, Woes, Strigoi Thralls, so they're the zombie version of the Strigoi. And there's a special unit of Strigoi. As you see, the raised new that requires technology. I'll get into that technology in a minute. Then you got the monsters, Vargeist, and the Waving Spectres. That's a unique unit. I would admit now. This is a particular for this particular province. It's a special building. Quite good. Income 500 is pretty good. Well, you can't argue that. It's great. So you got -5% upkeep for crypt ghouls and crypt horrors. So that's the standard one. There is a building to your left, to the west, which is another unique building, which is rather handy to get. But I'll come back to that later. Meanwhile, so here's where you get your crypt ghouls, your sewer ghouls, the Voynach spearmen, which are undead. This is where you recruit all them, and regiment down there. Then a great swords, which need a blacksmith, armory even. And that's where you recruit them. So there's the beasts. Down here, there's the White King, Cart Playground. So these are the carts. There they are, Strigoi wagon there, and Fireguard's own, so another regiment down. That is unchanged. Still get your hex waves and your care race. Vampires, so you can still recruit some vampires, normal vampires. You've got a necromancer there, which can also be recruited down here. Terrorgeist, and the regiment renowned Terrorgeist. It's 625 compared to 512. Quite beefy. And here is where you get your Strigoi. A lot of them anyway. Strigoi spearmen. So these are units you heal with the earth blood and things like that. So that's this tree. Down there. So Strigoi migration, as it's called. Other than that, that is all you need to know. All the buildings work exactly the same as they do on a campaign. Actually, standard undead campaign. So let's go off there and we'll quickly go into tech tree. Same as there anyway. All this is pretty much identical to what you would expect, but there is an extra section. So we got more kind what that was, and this is just to boost up the Strigoi unit. A bit more growth for this one. And you got the Strigoi Bloody Iron leadership, the Strigoi and Strigoi, and then you have the recruitment of the Regiment of Renown. Training, leadership +3, and weapon strength, very nice. Originz Core, quite like this one. Upkeep -10% for Strigoi and Strigoi, and some capacity unit capacity ones. I believe this is new as well. It might not be. I think it is new though. We'll go through it anyway. So diplomatic relations are -50% with the -50 with the green skins. You're not very hyped with the green skins, just to say that. They're your main foe down here. Tunnel crashes. Me attack with +8 for Skaven, Ancestral Falls, Tomb Kings, Strigoi's Revenge, you can see there, and Burning Hatred. There you go. So that is the basics of the campaign. There's nothing else I need to talk about. We'll have a quick look at his army. So this is your starting army. 2 to Strigoi, or Strigoi even. I love these units. I think they're very effective on the battlefield, and it's quite a fun army to play, but again, we'll get back to that later. Some Frows, Spearmen, and some normal Strigoi, and of course, Urshon. And there's your Raise Dead mechanic, just to prove it still works. And there we go. So, with that done, let's move on to the Legendary Yord's skill tree. So, first Legendary Yord we should look at is, of course, Urshon. And this is your starting Legendary Yord. And as you can see, we've already got a few stats in immediately. Immortality and Guile and Grammar. I think that because at the start your vampire corruption in the local province is not big, and you need vampire corruption, as you're sure you know. So, let's have a look. So we've got Rover. So this adds a few little bits and bobs to your skill tree. We'll just go quickly, but on the whole, which you've seen most of this before. Immortal casual replacement rate +30% for Yords and Yords. So that's Yords army. So that's just basically him. Lightning Strike, enhanced senses, Nation Builder, Eternal Warden, and of course Uncanny Presence. But now, of course, these are all the buffs for the various units. Pretty much the standard affair. I don't think there's anything particularly different. That's a good ability, Magic and Ominous. Leadership. Yes, pretty much all the same. Got a few new ones here, like Old Father. So this is a Rainbow Yank 11. Leadership for Strigoi infantry and weapon strength, and a global recruitment. Hairs of Morkheim, so that's added more casual regiment and melee attack and melee defense. Kingdom of Strigois. Your recruit +2, this is very powerful. Charge bonus +9 for Morkheim Guardians and well, just basically all Morkheim Guardian buffs. A very useful unit, that's hopefully you've seen in my unit guide. Shared knowledge. +4 for Strigoi Mystic. Great. Anything that boosts your initial Yevering with a quick boost, very handy. Just to get them started, because pretty much all casters at the starter. One trick, one spell. Getting that. Add 4 Yevils straight away. Get into easy couple of decent spells like Raise Dead or things of that nature. Very handy. Domination. Night Stalker. Defenders of Morkheim. And First of his Bloodline. A big increase in his abilities, and he's pretty damn powerful anyway. So what else we got? So this is obviously the vampires. Skill tree. Spout tree. Vampire Yore, that's the phrase I was looking for. Apologies. There's your Summon Vermin. Curse of Death. So all the standard fare. I'm sure you're familiar with some of these. Summon Bats, that's in a different price for... I haven't actually noticed that. That's in a different price on the other Yords and Heroes. Interesting. And Magical Reserves and Diviner. So, top one. This is his own personal abilities this time. All the usual things. Just anything to boost their abilities. Budget is very good. I think I mentioned that in my unit guide. And Sinews, Curse of a Revenant, Walking Death, Braid Shield. Does it get cause terror automatically? Huh. That's not particularly useful. He's a damn Strigoi, he should be terrifying. Red Fury and Braid Shield. And across the top we got his mount, his Terrorgeist, his Crown of Strigois, just a bit of armour, bit of resistance, nice research rate bonus, upkeep, and rune recovery time. Lord of Masks, cracking ability that is. Sire of Morkheim and Grave Ward. So that's Urshon's legendary Lord skill tree. And on to Vorag Bloody Tooth. This is one of the cheapest legendary Lords you can use, if you remember from my unit guide. So let's quickly go through it. Now, as I've already just been over Urshon, this is quite similar, and so I don't need to go over too much really. There's only one real section that's changed at all, but all these are exactly the same as you would get for Urshon, so don't need to go for that, and exactly the same here as well. So let's just nip over to and there's of course his spell tree, Vampire Yores. All that is pretty much self-explanatory, and exactly the same thing for that. So, his unique things though, which is his middle tree, let's have a quick look through there. So, bonus for infantry, subterranean intercept battles. So, when you intercept for subterranean battles, not exactly a big thing for vampire count, I have to admit. But if you're going against the dwarves or the Skaven, very handy indeed. Yord of Crookback Mountain, armor +20. Now, just a general buff and a bit of a debuff to the enemy. Bloody Soldier, leadership when attacking and charge bonus, weapon strength +20. So I presume that's just him. Or you got the other way around. So defense and attack and leadership. So slightly different. Dungeon Crawler, double experience gain for units during subterranean intercept battles. Quite an interesting tree, because obviously this Strigoi it prefers to be underground. So if you want a particular Yord to go against the dwarves or the Skaven, this is your Yord. Because all these bonuses really stack up. Born Raider. Does this unlock at Yevil? Sunny Yevil? Yeah, it does. Available at Yevil. So has to get a bit of experience first. before we go down this tree. Born Raider either. Invader. And Unnerving Beasts. Income from muting, sacking, and post-ute. On the top is his personal Terrorgeist. Vorag's Terrorgeist. So that's a bit more unique. Sword of Ghoul King. So that's how he summons his units of Crypt Ghouls. So that is along with the ability to actually cast normally. So it costs 9 rings of magic, that does. But with this, you get 2 uses for free. Very powerful. 3 of the greenskins. Not for greenskins, they use the underway as well. Over tunnels. First Ghoul King. And Grave Ward. So some interesting abilities. This, you can tier this one fighting against all the greenskins, all the subterranean battles if you prefer to use this one because of all the bonuses he has. Up to you. It is not, I wouldn't say flexible. So the thing with these vampire hordes, because of the magic abilities and because they're so beastly in combat, they are very, very powerful, and you can pretty much go anywhere you like. And as an example, I tend to really tailor them to what I'm going to fight. So this one I would have tailored to go straight after dwarves and Skaven and the greenskins, etc, etc, which is quite handy because you're very close to the greenskins straight off the off. So this may be, I don't think I unlocked this one first when I was playing through. I think I got the High Priest. Anyway, I'm waffling now, so let's move on to the next Legendary Horde. Okay, so I've just recruited Nanosh, and before we get into his Legendary Horde tree, just have a quick look at his Horde building panel. So this is unique to Nanosh. Like I said, he's a pirate Horde, and if you look through my unit guide, you find a bit more information about that. And of course, being a pirate Horde, this is the same type of mechanic as a Vampire Coast, and he can recruit everything as normal, but he also has extra recruitment bonuses, and this, of course, unique skill tree, or skill tree building tree. So down the first column, we have Skeleton Crew, Harpoons, and Swordsmen. So these are just your standard Spearmen, Skeleton Warriors, Swordsmen, and Spearmen. Then we've got the Ghouls Crew and Strigoi Crew. And right at the top, some Venex Swordsmen, Spearmen, Cavalry, and Lancer Boarding. Excuse me. So, obvious advantage of this Horde, anywhere he is, he can recruit these units. And these are only can be recruited by him. But of course you can transfer them to other armies if you want to. It's up to you. Next tree is just unlocks recruitment of the various beasts. Not all of them, but a fair few of them. Then we got some more beasts, dire wolves, and then as you can see, you can unlock more ghouls. Quite a cool unit for the Vampire Coast. And of course the Vargheith. Here we got a bound spell Flock of Doom, so that's the classic Flock of Doom spell. And we got hero recruitment +4 for mages. So Zuthbar 42. I think that's a, yeah, it's the leftovers from the Vampire Coast. So you got some artillery. Kind of weird for a Vampire Coast. I don't think I actually knocked. No, I didn't knock Nanosh with my playthrough, so I might have to have another playthrough and have this up, because that'd be quite interesting to have for a Vampire Coast army. Vampire Coast, Vampire Count's army with Strigoi. Yeah, that'd be quite interesting. Air support, bound spell, transformation of Kadon. That's a summon unit. Is that for the, I can't remember what it's called. You know what I mean. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's going to bug me for the rest of this part of this video now. Helm is for upkeep reduction. Main sail, so more movement. Hull, casualty present. So these are exactly the same as the Vampire Coast. Of course, you got your free growth at the end, and it's still bugging me. Nope, can't remember. You know what I mean, though. It's a flying unit. Oh, I can see it. Oh, it doesn't matter. Yes, so that is the skill, the building tree for Nanosh for his shipbuilding. It's fleet management. Is it called fleet horde building panel? Yeah. So it's the fleet management. So while we're here, I might as well go straight into his Legendary Horde tree. As you can see, this is all exactly the same, just with different names. I think actually that might, I think part of it's actually slightly different. Yes, it is. Only slightly different. Just to enable some more growth for itself, because it's a horde faction. Well, it's not a horde faction, but you know what I mean. Of course, he's got the Vampire Horde tree. No, he can't summon bats though, like the others. He does have some ghouls and some healing. Then of course his usual personal things. Nothing to talk about there really. Actually the Red Fury, that's pretty good. So it replaces the one down here, isn't it? Yeah, the Bloodlust. So his own personal things. Loyal Crew, Strigoi unit buff. Core overseas, just reduction of upkeep. Pirate King, all hands ahoy. And so that's just boosts his damage, base weapons and armor piercing damage. That's really powerful. It's plus 16 leadership as well, 40 meters range, very nice. Infinite Hatred, plus 10 melee attack. Bestial Force, weapon strength and cause of Macan, so this is his own personal abilities. And 50% weapon damage, that's pretty powerful. How much did he start with? It's 300 or 290. So now that speaks for itself. 145 extra. Mount Deathstreak Tailgeist. Norash's Coffin, so that's that replenishment. And Grave Road and Immortality. So that's where he gets by default. So there you go. That is an Nonash Yord skill tree. So the Arse Yord, the High Priest. And we'll quickly go through this, because we've all seen this before now. We know what it's all about. But he does have access to this some more spells, which is really nice. I do like it when they have the really powerful Yords having more abilities. Like if you look at a modded version of Mazdamundi, say, he's got a raft of different spells because he was one of the most powerful magic users ever. So he should be, well, overpowered in many respects. I know they had to do that for balance for obviously the multiplayer aspect, but I think for mods you can really, if they're in your overpowered, really powerful, they should be really powerful with your skill tree, and you should be able to tailor them to exactly how you want. Anyway, that was a slight tangent. So, your vampires, and we have some more Virtutes here, which are all very good. So, and we'll just quickly go through this bit. So he spawns the Voidgeist, and that's a pretty decent, it's pretty much, I cannot remember what Kenwa's Krell ability, pretty much. He's not as powerful as Krell, but it's similar, because he has an anti-charge ability, he's obviously a very powerful combatant, so think about it as like the same way. Yord of Scourge, so this is a straight out of the, so this is what he gets by default. And Vrown Master, so he immediately gets these abilities. And then we've got some Queen of Banshees and Ethereal units boosts. On the top, Skeleton Seat, and of course his Chariot. I just think it's really cool that you can have from the Vampire faction, you have a High Priest and he has a Chariot. I just think that's quite cool. Staff of the Cult, so that reduces Ethereal units casting. Master of the Dead, a classic spell. I always say this with all my vampires. Grave Ward, your Master, your vampires. So that's reduction costs of various abilities. Very powerful. And mortality as well. So there you go. And that's all the Edge of the Ord's gone through. The Mystic, the hero, is pretty much his standard affair. It's just his standard caster. There's nothing really that special about him. Just another basic caster. Like he would, just not as good as the vampires when it comes to melee. So with that, let's go on to my own personal campaign. So here we are, turn 67 on my own campaign itself. So this is how I'm getting on. And as you remember, you start off in Morkheim. And I've pretty much maxed this vampire corruption out, and Untainted is getting so yo it's not even worth mentioning anymore. Can I just say, but I was thinking about this when I was playing through this campaign. I really like how the map changes through because of the vampire corruption. I think it's just a really nice little subtle touch. So anyway, so how did my campaign go? So early on, you get quests, you get a fair few quests in this one. What we got at the moment. So expanding and Ghost Riders, so nothing special. But one of the early ones is to capture Galboaz, and when you capture Galboaz, you get unlock the use of Legendary Ord, which is of course the High Priest. So that's my first priority. And I've also took these two. Now I was going to take this entire province until the Tomb Kings put their noses into my business. Now the Tomb Kings are here, so this is of course Cetra and Khemri. Now I've got an uneasy piece of these at the moment, so let's just show you how I'm at war with. So I'm at war with the Greybus Prospectors. I think that was through they're down southwest, aren't they? Actually done a model view of that. Anyway, self-promoting. Rakap Dynasty, of course the Greenskins, and Tarakwa, which is down the southwest as well. That's through another military thing through the Tomb Kings, because I don't really want the Tomb Kings worrying me at the moment. And I haven't. It's an uneasy piece, I think, as you can see. And that's Barvar. Yeah, this goes up and down a worryingly a lot. I've got a defensive line to a military access. It is worrying me, let's just say that. Anyway, back to the campaign. So, uneasy so I haven't pushed down here at all. I got this one quite early on, and the Tomb Kings were coming over and they offered me peace. So I thought, yeah, we'll do that. So then I switched my Yakut and go up northwards. So took Gwent Mongol, and I've still got 3 areas here, and I've boosted this up. What I think about it, this is the unique building for this particular faction. So you get weapon strength, recruitment rank plus 1 for all units, bit of magic resistance when they get over a certain level. Very nice, and it also provides a garrison. So it's pretty powerful, and as the garrison is right in the middle of my hands, I don't really need to defend it. I don't need one of these, the Graveguard Watchtower, which I have on most of my outer borders at the moment. And then we've got to come to here. That's just the standard port. Then we moved northeastwards. Slowly but surely. And of course, vampire corruption is the thing. And I've built a lot of these buildings. And I think this is a good idea to start building these pretty much as soon as you can in your main capitals. It really does help. Because moving your armies around, you do use that attrition quite easily. And I've also gone in the skill tree, actually where I was talking a tech tree. I pretty much maxed out the middle section. And up to there. I was just getting rid of the minus 50% attrition a bit. Because it is so annoying. You have to work around it all the time, so I thought I'd get into that as well. Now I've just added vampire corruption. I'm just going to add that as well next at some point after I've done put its power. Just to keep it spreading quickly as possible. So after that, we went up here, did the 2 minor ones, had a huge battle here, out and while I'm here. Ree's dead, just to prove a point. There's the Graveguard, so you can definitely recruit them, just to reiterate that. And there's no of the crypt holes. My memory today. Can I actually? It's B. Right, I've got to know. It's the Mortis engine. There we go. I was gonna bug me if I don't get that one. So yeah, I know if you can. I haven't seen it yet, and this was a hell of a battle. This was because I'm playing this and the green skin with the new. This is actually probably a really bad time to play this with the green skin's new mechanics, but it hasn't been actually that tough. Everything was going quite smoothly until I hit this point here. And when I hit this point, there was a massive warg here. It was a huge battle. I only just won it. As in, it was pretty much... I had very few units left. And thankfully, for that, you can really get some basic units back really quickly. Because, obviously, you're vampires. And Igre's dead. But that was a hell of a fight. So I don't know if you can get the Mortis engine. I am not sure. Maybe, because I was such a big fight. I was about 3,000 greenskins, I think, to my 2,000 odd. So yeah, it was a hell of a fight. Oh, I'm just moving him in there. Let's do that while I remember. So, that is pretty much where I'm at to at the moment. Interesting though, the border princes, have decided to push into the greenskin lands. Not exactly sure why, but they've made it all the way to Ironrock. So yeah, that I don't think I've seen that before. Especially with the greenskins, so powerful, or more powerful these days. It is quite a strange thing to see that. Anyway, down my east flank is all ruined, so yeah, there's cave in there. So before I wrap this up, let's have a quick look at my army. So I think this is the... Nope, that's the wrong one. That is that. Nope. I think I might have... Yeah, in that battle, Ocean died, I think. So I really should give this army back to him, because this was his army. Was it that one? No, it wasn't. It was that one. Might have been... It doesn't matter. I've had to rebuild it completely, because that fight really took out me. Anyway, so I recruited Vorag. So this one, yeah, this was his army, because I remember having the Vampire of Death and Strigoi Mystic. So actually, I'm using this one as my magic user. These and what's her name? Maria. I've gone completely down as a defensive yard, as a combat yard, just so I can have this character and of course Vorag as the main casters. So this is my defending unit to protect, well, her, to be honest. So across here, good old-fashioned meat shield. Do have my meat shields. So that's 6 units of the meat shields. Then I've got some skeleton warriors and some spearmen. I need to balance this out a bit more. Some fast units. I do have my direwolves. And then even faster units. Well, just as fast. The Vargeists. Unit of Strigoi. And card of the prey victims, so that's in that you'll pick. So this is pretty much an undead, completely undead roster. It used to be more Strigani, but I've had to change because, well, they all died, to be perfectly honest. And this is my other army. So this is the High Priest. Right King, so that's the one I've just moved in, which you've just seen. So he's going to be my, just protect the High Priest a bit more. Not that he really needs it as much, but it's handy to have. Ghouls. Got the Kongenstein Stalkers and the Spearmen. Got the Regiment Round version of the zombies. Void just a bit of... So I've gone this quite heavy in the pace provide. The reason I did this is because the undead, on the whole, wasn't the quickest faction in the world. Of course you had the direwolves and the Vargeists, but I wanted a lot of speed in this army, so I could get around the flanks. So I've got the cavalry, got the direwolves, got the Vargeists, Crypt Towers go straight down the middle, and Cart of Plague Victims. So that, as it stands, is how far I've got with my campaign. It's an interesting campaign, very enjoyable. One of my main things about it, if you've been following my channel for a while, I do like a nice varied playstyle, and this with all the human element makes it quite interesting, makes it a bit more difficult to build your armies, and just makes it a bit more interesting, I found. And of course you start, unlike all the other vampire faction, you start up here. Down here you're facing the greenskins pretty much all the time. It's an interesting fight against the greenskins, because they have some really nice artillery units, so you really got to get them down quickly, and it just makes a change of fighting the dwarves over time or the humans. And of course you got the humans right next to you anyway. So I think that's pretty much covered over what I wanted to say about my own campaign. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.